All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and also to their elders, the men that taught them. I pray the Lord have peace, blessings, and mercy upon the households of the hopeful elect. This is the brother Shema One from the Great Millstone Houston Church. And real quick, I want to come with a lesson. Just really, man, been meditating heavily upon how man, it's so much proof and evidence that what we believe in is coming. Our faith is not in vain. How the Lord has revealed these mysteries and these secrets to us, where we can see clearly. You know, we have the vision of prophecy. We can see these spiritual matters, these divine oracles. Clearly, where even though in such how should you say, a low condition, we still have hope in the word of the Lord, where we're not worn out, we're not, you know, faint hearted, because everything the Lord said that will happen in the past has happened, or guess what? It's about to, you know, in understanding where we are in the timeline of prophecy, there's only a few more, left. There's only a few more left. And it's beautiful the time we're in with these escalations of what's going on with this World War III talk, and what's going on with the MOTB. Just looking at that is, it shows you where we are in understanding. There's gonna be great tribulation. There's gonna be an hour of temptation, which is gonna try everybody, and that's gonna lead to what we see right now, Zion's glory and new name, those things have to take place. And guess what? This is next. This is next, man. And just thinking how the scriptures told you or tell us, how does it say? Let me pull it up on this other tab real quick. For the joy that was set before Yahweh Shah allowed him to endure the cross. It's gonna be amazing what the Lord is going to do. And even in these last days, it tells you how these are exciting times. But real quick, let me read the first one. Quoted Hebrews chapter 12 in verse 2. It says, looking unto Yahweh Shai, Salaki. I'm gonna share my screen 1 second. No, it's cool. I'm gonna just read it. It says, I'm reading Hebrews 12 and 2. It says, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. So just, looking at Yahweh Shah, as that perfect example, how in his mind, he, it was set on what's to come, you know, he endured the cross, he endured his testing, his time of testing, and despised the shame, what came with it, and it led to him to be glorified. And very soon the world is gonna see Yahweh Shah come in the glory of his Father, you know. But just like Yahweh Shah, you know, had the mindset of thinking what's to come, you know, beyond the time of testings, because that's not the end all be all. All right. We have a different lot. Our portion is different, and our end is different. Where it's expected. We have an expected hope, man. So let me go back to Isaiah 62, and we'll read a little bit of that. Isaiah 62 in verse 1. It says, for Zion's sake will I not hold my peace. Salaki, hold up. It was another precept I was thinking about. Um, Dang, what was that? It's all good. Lord willing, will come back. But going back, Isaiah 62 and 1, it says, "For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth." So, this change is gonna be glorious where man, it's gonna be the a major event to take place on the earth where everybody is gonna witness this. Hey, and just like it tells you in the book of Baruch, the fourth chapter, I read that yesterday in my lesson, Baruch chapter 4. Let me just share my screen. Have my precept screen up. Here we go. 1 second. But just like it says here in Baruch, the fourth chapter, Baruch chapter 4 in verse 20, start at verse 23. Hold up. Start at verse, man, hold on. Start at verse 21. We'll just read it. But real quick, Isaiah 62 in I read verse 2. I read from the top. "For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof goes forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name." So real quick, that's coming. But Baruch 4 in verse uh 21, let's start up here. It says, "Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies." And that's the condition that we're in right now. That's why we need to be saved and delivered and established and set up. And the glory is going to change for us, where we're no longer going to be delivered into the hands of heathen. Okay, this is just for our punishment. Like it tells you, if you read up at the beginning, it tells you in verse 6, "You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies." So it's all for, you know, the sake of our disobedience towards the Heavenly Father, breaking his laws, statutes, and commandments. This is a part of our punishment, not for our destruction, though, right? That's why I said, "And he will deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you. And joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior." And the Lord is going to allow us to return home, because this is like the land speaking. What's that word? Whenever you have like personification, as if the land is speaking, our homeland, the place that we've been removed from and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But now the Lord is going to return us. I mean, allow us to return. And it says, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. So the Lord is going to have mercy, okay, on the nation of Israel. The Lord is going to be merciful unto us. All right. It says, um, verse 23, "For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever." And nobody, these heathens don't understand what's attached to that. A part of our joy and gladness forever is going to be freed from all worry, freed from all care and sickness and disease and death, and everything. Well, I ain't gonna say it like that, but yeah, everything that's attached to this sinful flesh that's gonna be removed. Hey, and also a part of our joy and gladness forever is gonna be the Lord allowing us to be, in authority, where we're gonna be the rulers and have dominion, and we're also gonna have slaves. Okay, every nation is going to be underneath, the nation of Israel, and they're going into captivity. That's gonna be a part of the joy and the gladness. Let's go to Sirach real quick, then we'll come back to Baruch. Ecclesiasticus 25:7. It says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy. In the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy." Yeah. So seeing the fall of our enemy is going to be a very, you know, a very positive and wonderful and joyous event, man. You know, it's not bad news for Israelites to be in that mindset of trying to save all these nations. That just shows you they don't have the truth. Right now they're blinded by you know, by the doctrines and philosophies that was pushed on them from their oppressors. They got Stockholm syndrome. And ultimately they don't follow Yahweh Shah because this is gonna be something pleasing unto the Lord. Real quick, let's read it in Psalms first. Psalms chapter 2 in verse 8, it says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So we're gonna have slaves, and we're gonna, completely rule the entire planet Earth. All right. It says, "Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel." It says, so that's that shows you the dominion and the rule that's going to be established on this earth whenever Yahweh Shah comes back. Uh, hold up. Let me see. Nah, Salaki, this ain't it. What am I looking for? Hold up. We'll get it in Revelation then. I was just thinking about a precept. It slipped my mind. Revelation, the 2nd chapter, in verse 26, it says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." It says, "And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father." So see, this is not something that's, uh going against the scriptures. This lines up. Heathen going into captivity, that's a part of prophecy. The Israelites ruling with authority, that's a part of the will of the Heavenly Father. It's not pleasing unto them, but guess what? They got to deal with it. Just like we had to deal with what happened to us, they got to fall in line and deal with it too. Hold up. Isaiah 60, straight to the point. Where is it? Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. Let's start at verse 10. Isaiah 60 and 10. "And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So again, these heathens are going to be our servants. They're going to be put to work. They're going to have to build up. All right. And guess what? The kings today, those that have authority today, they're going to be servants. They're going to be our ministers. All right. And just like earlier, the Lord, how does it say? The Lord gave us over into the hand of our enemies, not for our destruction, but because we moved him to wrath, right? By worshiping, sacrificing to other gods. So it says, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. And the Lord is going to have mercy upon us at the end of the day, man. You know, entirely the whole nation of Israel, but first the elect, a remnant shall be saved. But verse 11 it says, therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. So we're gonna have traffic, we're gonna have actual business. You know, we're gonna be making things move, you know, as far as like trading, you know, receiving the fatness of the other nations, receiving the best of the earth. That's coming to us. We're gonna be blessed and established on the earth, man. And we're gonna have the fatness of it, just like Esau has the fatness of the earth today. And everything is attached to that. The forces of the Gentiles. Let's see. It says the strength, might, efficiency, the wealth. See the strength, the goods, the riches, all of that is coming to us. Then it says, verse 12, this is what I wanted. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. All right. So the Lord is pleased with the nation of Israel being set up, you know, to receive that type of glory on the earth. And it's not pleasing to the heathen, but that's a part of prophecy. That just like we can't escape what's coming, like in you know, soon how Esau's gonna come in, you know, like a flood having, you know, showing no mercy. This man is coming with great wrath. That's something that we gotta suffer. But the difference is the Lord is gonna be with us. Whenever the Lord is for us, the Lord ain't finna be with no heathens. All right. Jeremiah, no, limitation. They gotta deal with it. Limitation chapter 1 in verse 21, it says, they have heard that I sighed, there is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast caused, and they shall be like unto me. So guess what? They were glad and pleased and happy and excited whenever, you know, we were in a low condition, whenever we were in their hands, right? But guess what? The Lord is gonna change that. They're gonna be, you know, positions are about to change. They're gonna be in our hands. It's not gonna be, you know, how it is now, where we're at the bottom and these heathen are, you know, have authority over us. Verse 22, it says, let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me, for all my transgressions, and my sighs are many, and my heart is faint, and judgment is coming. You know how what the Lord is about to do. This is just a part, or this is a part of their judgment. You know, from all of the things that they've done to the apple of the Lord's eye, they have not been judged, you know, for that yet. But they're about to. We've been in the hands of, you know, all these heathen, but the Lord is finally finna judge them, you know, for what they've done to the nation of Israel, where they thought where they thought, you know, or they didn't consider the later end, that there's gonna be recompenses, you know, unto these heathen nations, like it tells you real quick in Obadiah that I'm gonna read through. in Isaiah 62. Obadiah 1 in verse 15, it says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head." So there you go. There's no avoiding what's coming. And let's go back to Isaiah 62. 1 second. Isaiah 62, and let's read through. So verse 2 again, it says, "And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all the kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name." In the NLT, it says, "The nations will see your righteousness, world leaders will be blinded by your glory, and you will be given a new name by the Lord's own mouth." Back to the KJV. I just wanted to read that. It says, "Thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God." Just going into how, we're gonna be the is we're gonna be the new, royal people to rule the world. In royalty, that's us. Hey, just like the Lord used Babylon as a golden cup, you know, to get these nations drunk. The Lord is gonna literally use the nation of Israel, but figuratively speaking, right here, just showing you how we're gonna be, set up as rulers in dominion, you know, a royal diadem. That's like a mitre, like a hair wrap, I believe, in the hand of thy God. In the NLT, it says a splendid crown, just showing you the position how we're gonna be in very soon. We're not gonna be a reproach, ashamed. None of that. We're not gonna be a byword or a proverb anymore. No, we're gonna be on a glorious level due to the Lord being with us. And if we're in the hand of the Lord, nothing is gonna ever, 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 change that. You know, nothing is gonna come in between that. Rise up and remove us from being set up on that position, being set up on that level. And this is like hearing Apostle Tahar say, months away. Hey man, that's like we almost there. It's comforting hearing the apostles say things like that. But verse 4 says, "Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah, for the Lord, for the Lord delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married." As a matter of fact, I'll look up those words on this one. It's a little quicker. Let's look those words up. All right. Verse 4, let's look up Hephzibah. It is H2657. Uh Chapa Chapatazaya Ba Chapatazayaba. And it says, "My delight is in her. My delight is in her." So instead of being forsaken, the Lord's delight is gonna be, upon us, back in the land, you know, actually having a place to go. We have this is not we have no continual city. This is not our rest. The Lord has that, laid up for us. The Lord has that. It says Beulah, H1166, uh Baal. It says to marry, to rule over. possess, to own, to have dominion over, to be husband, to be a master. So you're showing you we're gonna have authority. We're gonna have rulership in this earth, and ultimately the Lord is bringing us back to our land. Where He removed us. But verse 5 it says, "For as a young man married a virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. And as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy God rejoice over thee. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence." And this is something that the Lord has, differently for our benefit by sending prophets, which is a token of Him having compassion on His people, you know. So the prophets are the watchmen, for the nation of Israel, who are, constantly, on guard, just giving them the comparison how it used to be in the ancient days, how actual watchmen used to stand up on the walls, at the high places, on watch, to be that warning if anything could be a threat or cause harm, coming towards the city. They will give the warning, to prepare the people for what's coming. But it says, and that's the lot of the prophets today, which, going back to them being that instrument of the Lord using to show that He's having compassion on His people. But the prophets, the true prophets of the Lord, they're not going to hold their peace. No breaks off, going missing. No, none of that. It said they shall never hold their peace day nor night. And look at the camps today. Filter them out. Filter these camps out. It says, "Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give Him no rest till He establish and till He make Jerusalem a praise in the earth." And that's the hardest part to see right now. The nation of Israel returning home, being set up. It says to be firm, stable, established, to be settled, to be arranged, order. You Nobody sees this coming, or he really believes that the Israelites are gonna rule the planet Earth. But the scriptures constantly point towards what's coming. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Yeah. Until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Oh man, no more what you see going on right now. You know, not one Israelite will be out of order. Not one Israelite will be viewed as negative, or just something just disgusting, or an abomination, or anything, in a negative sense. We're gonna be the true glory and the true praise of the earth. Praise, it says, praise, adoration, thanksgiving, praise to God, act of general or public praise. Says renown, fame, glory, or renown, yeah, fame, glory, and that's how it's gonna be. Just like it tells you the same places where we've been put to shame, we're gonna have a name in the earth now. Fame is coming. It says, "The Lord has sworn by His right hand and by the arm of His strength. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and thy sons and the sons of strangers shall not drink thy wine for the which thou hast labored." So no nation is gonna ever come in and take away from us. We're not gonna labor for the enemies anymore. We're not gonna be in their hands. That's not gonna happen. Where we have to, work so they could have. That's not gonna be a thing in the earth. It's gonna be the complete opposite. Let me go to Zephaniah real quick. I think that's Zephaniah. Yeah, Zephaniah chapter 3. Zephaniah 3 and verse 14. No, let's start at verse 13. It says, "The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad, and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments, he has cast out thine enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil any more." This is all soon coming. This is a part of the will of the Lord, where our enemies do not stand a chance. This is the last time, like the scriptures tell you, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. This is it. This is it. Then it's going to change forever. All right. Verse 16, it says, "In that day it shall be said in Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. The Lord thy God is in the midst, the Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest. No, it says he will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden." And I'm just reading through. There's going to be a complete change. All right. It's no longer going to be experiencing evil. We're going to experience the joy, of the Lord, not these, you know, uh, evil judgments, the bad times that we go through. It's all a part of the experience, but the Lord has, just complete joy and happiness, laid up for us. All right. It says, "Behold, at that time, I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame." The water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, that's coming. It's coming. And it's gonna pay off for, striving for the truth until death, following the Lamb whithersoever he goes, standing stiffly for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. It's gonna pay off. And right now, hey, where we're being put to shame, so say by this world, hey, the Lord is about to change that. It says, "At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh." So we're not going to be in captivity forever. The Lord is taking us home, and it's going to be. Hey, this change is going to affect everybody on the planet. It's gonna, this event coming soon, the salvation of Israel, is gonna affect everybody on the planet, or it's gonna be for our benefit. The Lord is for us, not these heathens. We don't have no, we have no life here. That's why we're pilgrims upon this earth. But I was just meditating on that. Let me see. Isaiah 45 and 16 real quick. I'll just read it. It says, it says, Oh, so lucky. That's not what I wanted. 17. There we go. Isaiah 45 and 17. Let me share it. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. It says, "But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end." So whenever that change comes, whenever we're saved with the everlasting salvation, it's going to be forever. Nothing is going to interfere. Nothing is going to, you know, come in the way and be like nothing's going to hinder or have the power or ability to interfere with anything. We're about to experience, the love of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, forever, where he's gonna be in the midst of us and overlooking us for, with joy and happiness and peace and not evil. No more evil. But it's gonna be upon the nations though. But Lord willing, I pray this lesson was edifying. So again, I want to give our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Hey, and Lord willing, until the next time, I say shalom.